Hey, just before this video starts, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel just to show some support. Also comment down below since I will be replying to every single comment because I'll probably get like 2 views. Anyhow, like the video and I'll see you later. Hey, it's Mango here. Today we're gonna look at the ProRevenge Reddit. So a little background, I met this girl a year and a half ago. She was one of my partner's friends and was friendly with one of his best mates. Immediately started glaring at me and started flirting with my partner, completely ignoring me. I later talked to my partner about it, telling him how uncomfortable she made me and how she was very disrespectful. He talked to her but brushed it off as she was shy. She wasn't. She slept with every single boy in that group. Months passed and she had small digs at me, nothing major though, but enough for me to not be around her anymore. I had my own issues with a group of friends, later sorted, and was told they didn't know what they were doing things. This girl continuously got more and more vicious, calling me names at first, then making fun of my disabilities. I have severe mental and physical health issues. She even went as far and tried to look like the victim. Over 9 months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, and my partner and I were going through some rough patches because of this, and we're fighting a lot. We were both extremely scared, and she manipulated the situation to try and make him break up with me. It didn't work, so she started stating to my friends and the group of my partner's friends that I'm faking cancer to stay with them, and that if I did, she couldn't wait for karma to kill me. Not sure who even does that. She even went as far to make fun of me when my hair fell off. I was so incredibly upset and fed up. Fast forward to now. I finally finished treatment and was starting to feel good when again she started making up rumors telling that people that I'm a drug addict and a dealer, that it was all a ruse to get good prescription drugs and that I should be arrested. What she doesn't realize is that I have a year and a half of proof that she's been taking, dealing, and smuggling drugs into festivals, not just for herself, but everyone who would pay. Where I am from, there has been a massive crackdown on people bringing drugs into festivals for themselves, let alone supplying it for others. I complied everything into an anonymous email, including her name, her address, birthday, etc. Told them how much she'd have, how she'd conceal it, conveniently leaving out everyone else's name. I don't care what people do normally. I was just over her shit, sent her to the police. She was stopped immediately at the ID check, refused entry, and cavity searched. She was found out with over 5 grams of drugs and was arrested at the spot. Did I mention she hid them in her vagina? What the fuck? To top it all off, she resisted arrest and assaulted a cop. She still talks shit about me, but oh boy, will she regret that when I go into the police station and report her for harassment, bullying, stalking, and threats against an enabled person. It was high school, 10th grade, USA. So I'm about 16, recently made friends with a guy named Mario from a class project we were given. Background, I grew up in the inner city during the 90s, so figured if you were in DC, New York, or any familiar East Coast city. Anyhow, since this was public school, teachers and admins didn't really care about us other than making sure we were not stabbing and shooting each other. Since me and Mario came from a low income and welfare background, we didn't really have nice things. I did my share of shame, but I never stole from anybody. One day, we have a big school assembly for a speaker who survived a motorcycle accident. It was fun to, get out of the class with 2 periods. So at the end of the assembly, I was leaving and Mario called out to me and asked to grab his jacket as he left it on the chair. Me, without thinking, grabbed it and gave it to him. Cue a couple of weeks later, I had to go to my counselor to get some records of my PSAT. The vice principal, the VP at that time, was there as her office was next to my counselor, and she stopped me and asked about a stolen jacket. I was scared of my mind because I didn't steal anybody's jacket, and she told me I was facing expulsion for stealing another student's jacket. At this time, I was on track for some academic scholarship and was scared out of my mind about this. She brought me to the room where they kept troubled kids, and I was pointed out by another student as taking a jacket a while back, and then it dawned to me. Mario had me pass the jacket to him. I tried to explain the situation that my friend said it was his, so I grabbed it and gave it to him. I didn't know it was another student. I gave Mario a name to sort out the situation, and he came clean and told the VP I didn't know. However, this VP didn't like me because of the fact that this dark skin was working towards winning the academic scholarship. Usually a white student won. So what did she do? She told me to bring my mom, and the next day my mom did not speak English, by the way, and a punishment was to be handed. Not only did I get an ass beating when I got home, but now I needed to bring my mom to school who didn't even know the situation. Without any way to defend myself, the The VP, without any mercy, suspended me for a week and put it on my record. I cried as I was so upset. This bitch basically tried to fuck up my whole life, rather wanted me to fall into the life of gangs and crime people of my kind were supposed to. Long story short, I took the week off and came back ready to fight towards winning the scholarship. Senior year, I did win the scholarship anyway and got a full ride to a college and put the experience behind me. Or so I thought. 2 weeks before graduation, I was asked to sit on a selection committee for the vacated principal post. I was selected because of my studies and also my personal background. Google Cambodia and you can imagine what my parents went through. There was a CV packet of a name, and it was the name of a VP a couple of years back who gave me no leniency. I read her cover letter and she wrote back about caring about the students' choices we made and admirals who have a profound effect on the children and all that garbage. Oh, and also she wrote she knew the school very well and the students there. Game on, bitch. When she came in, she didn't recognize who I was, so I played it coy and let her speak. Then it was time for us to speak, and guess what I asked? I asked her, if a student got into something, my situation, would you punish the student to the max? And if she ever faced something like that before, this bitch said she would fully investigate, and if the student was unaware and he was a good student, there would be no need to be that extreme. And also, she noted luckily she never had to face a situation like that. I then asked her, did she recognize me? She genuinely didn't, so I told the group that what happened to me with her, and they gave them copies of the report she signed. Her face dropped, and I don't recall what else happened, but the questioning continued until she was dismissed. In our deliberation, they were vouching for her, but I was the amendment and my no vote, and we ended up giving the post to acting principal. Don't know what happened to her since, but Mario, last I heard, went into Puerto Rico and I went into college grad school, and now ABD and interning as a civil employee. Moving on. A few years into our relationship, my girlfriend watched and also made me watch an awful movie called What the Hell. This led her to going vegan and constantly trying to force me to also go vegan. I am a hobbyist athlete and a bodybuilder, and going vegan isn't viable for me. I love meat and milk, and I need my protein, about 260 grams per day. Anyway, after several months of her being insane, my milk and meat started disappearing from my fridge and raising my suspicions. I eventually caught her on camera after months of her lying to me. She threw out about $400 worth of food when all was said and done. This brings us to yesterday. She's been reaching out talking about trying to get back together. This is after she literally made a Facebook group claiming that I abused her. I would never do that. Disgusting lies. And told close friends and families all kind of horrible stories about me. I decided I was going to get some revenge for thievery and trying to fuck up my life. I invited her for dinner last night, telling her I had gone vegan since then. I cooked her dinner and she made it clear she regretted nothing and just had to make me see the light about going vegan. So I gritted my teeth and cooked her some tofu tacos with my new recipe, mimicking Chipotle sofritas. Ooh. She ate 2 plates and loved it so much she demanded that recipe. She continued being extremely rude and admitted that everything she said about me had been a lie, but that she was very hurt and determined to hurt me too. I recorded our entire conversation on my old iPhone. She tries to get frisky with me after dinner, and I tell her, let me write down the recipe for you before I forget. I write down the words ground turkey on an index card and give it to her with a wide smile on my face. She starts freaking the fuck out. Now I already told my neighbor that, and if he hears any screaming to call the cops, I knew her reaction would be fucking insane because she's an insane person. Long story short, the cops came as she was hitting me in the face repeatedly in the parking lot of my condo. She got arrested for assault. I took the video and put it on Facebook, tagging everyone who was in her Facebook group, slandering me. I also added the audio of her admitting all the stories she told me had been lies. Once normal girlfriend goes psycho vegan, steals my food and wastes my money, I break up with her and she starts making up horrible lies about me on social circle. I invite her over to dinner and feed her some ground turkey. She assaults me and gets arrested. I take the video, put it online, clearing my name. I win, let's go. It all goes to show you being vegan is just a diet, not a certificate that gives you the right to be a little bitch or want to be a life coach. Just be a good person. Hey, drop a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to show some support. And I know the audio quality isn't really good, and also I am socially awkward, so I don't know how to talk properly. But hopefully that will get better over time and I can get some real life skills doing this shit. Anyhow, leave a like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.